Kim Feldman, who's an educator in our Department of Family Medicine, came to me saying, we really need to shake things up. We've got to talk to people from outside our medical school.
We brought together some incredible people from really diverse backgrounds to talk about a subject near and dear to many of our hearts, which is medical education.
Part of the success of this conference is where it is, that it's not at the university, that it's not in a hospital, that it's not in any kind of medical facility.
I think the medical profession has a huge challenge in that most people feel that it is closed to them. The world is changing and those closed doors need to open.
And maybe we can learn from some of these other domains like the arts, like the business world.
To look at things in ways that we may not have looked at before.
There's a system and there are parameters. The system might always be changing. You know, Pollock here, it wasn't random mess. He thought about his constraints.
Instead of trying to break through those constraints, which is what we always try to do, to actually say, okay, what do these constraints enable us to accomplish?
When personalized medicine gets talked about, it's not the human being interaction, it's the billion data points surrounding a person.
You're very, very good at building relationships with patients and all of that, but they're like, you know, it would make your life easier if you just let all of that stuff go and just really focus on just getting the information for the OSCE and don't focus as much on relationship building. So for me, I found that as a learner to be a bit, disconcerting.
What the role of our faculty is. The assumption is that we still need a certain amount of the lecture. And I don't know if that's true.
I took a night course in Russian literature. It was just the teacher and the opportunity, like to see the excitement of learning, and I never stopped after that.
You never, ever wanted to let your team down. You didn't care about the A. It was if your team didn't get the A, and you were responsible for that. That was one of the strongest motivators.
Who says that you have to do 4 years of medical school before you can write your exams, right?
We could barely predict technological changes 5 years out.
They're not encouraged to be engaged in the political process, and I think that needs to. That's what I'd like to see challenged.
These are the kind of conversations that are so important to making change.
I certainly feel that this model has stimulated people to think differently.
I think people really were excited and were really feeding off each other.
And it was just absolutely fantastic.